Hey everybody, it's Liz at Northern Belle Farms. I got a new phone. You don't see any spots on the screen, do you? That's because we finally, I finally dropped it so good that I couldn't use the screen. But my husband's smart, so he had this little thing that I plugged into the bottom where the charger port is, and I could use a mouse to navigate around on my phone. And so I did that for a couple days, and then it was like, well, we just need a new phone. So you'll have to tell me how this resolution is, if it's better or worse or the same. But I got a new phone. So these little chickies have already gotten too big for their little cage. And it's only been, what, 2 weeks since I moved them in here? Maybe a week and a half. They can still squeeze in between and get on both sides. They all choose to like this side better. I don't know why. But I had talked to the woman who, these guys are getting big, almost ready to go. I have talked to the woman who rents out the space for her roosters. And she said we can do what we need to do about the aggressive one that attacks me whenever my back's turned. And so he'll probably go with those meat birds. And then we're going to try and save this one for to breed more Easter eggers or blue eggers in this cage over here. So we're going to temporarily move him. Well, we're going to temporarily move both of them into over here so that they can be held, so that I can move all of those chicks into over here. So hopefully this weekend I can get my husband to help me work on a gate for the back over there, temporary housing for over there, and then we got to talk about what we're going to need here to build the pens here. This pen over here, maybe we can finish caging that in and getting the boxes and roost bar set up. Because I would just love to have everybody's space all ready for them. Somebody is supposed to come over this weekend. They're volunteering their time. They're going to leave with some vegetables, some produce, some eggs. I think what I'm going to ask them for their help with is back here and possibly over there. I'm going to have them help me pull out all this dead stuff. We're going to take out all the fence posts in the middle and then move them back to the edge of the woods. Divide it like 2/3 of the way, so 2/3 of the back. Make another temporary housing over there for meat birds. And then the third in the front will be for the garden back here. Because under those trees is too shaded in the summer and I can't grow anything. So why not keep the meat birds back there? So we're going to probably get a few meat birds, maybe a couple turkeys and some ducks, and probably try our hand at all of those this summer. And they'll have this back section from over here to the fig tree area about. And then I need the fence post moved from over here. I'm going to open up the back half of the fence posts that are over here behind the grape trellises over there in that back corner where it's all wooded. I'd like to get a couple, a La Mancha and a Nubian, and 2 dwarf Nigerian boys and 1 dwarf Nigerian girl. I want to take this back fencing. I want to pull it back to our very corner of our property back in there in the woods. We have to chop up that tree that's laying down. We're going to leave it in there so they have something to play on. I want to pull it over to about right here and then possibly figure out if my husband's going to close that in for his shed. If not, we may close it in as like a goat area so that they can have from that corner of the shed and then to here so that they can have this. So that's my plan for this weekend when I have people coming is either ask them if they want to transplant or if they want to help move fencing. So if they want to transplant, I got tons of that to do out front. And if they want to move fencing, that's what we'll be doing out back. So hopefully I'll get something done since I have more hands. I'll have another 4 hands here. So, and that also might make my daughter or my son want to help more if there's other people here helping. So, but here is the pink oyster mushrooms. These are smaller right now. They still have another couple days before they get to be bigger in size. They start out really tiny. Here's some little ones. See? They start out this big. This is called pinning when you see them like this. Here's them a little bigger. They absorb a bunch of vitamin D when their gills are pointed towards the sun. We sell the clusters, which is probably like this much, maybe this much. There's probably 6 clusters on here for like $5. I have a whole big dried bag of them. And I'm going to show you how to make mushroom gravy. It's actually really good. Of course, you could cook up the mushrooms and just have them on top of cheeseburgers or in sandwiches or on a steak with some blue cheese dressing or sauce. You know, that's great too. But we had this mushroom gravy on tater tots the other night. It was really, really good. So I figured it's been a while since I did a recipe video. So I will show you that. Almost cleaned up this space, and I swear that if my husband does nothing else this weekend, I want him to cut this, because I just would find this much easier instead of trying to untangle all of this, and then however I'm supposed to get that off, these giant vines. I just would like him to take a chainsaw to where that fencing is on the post and chop that, and then I will drag it out of here. And then this will be fixed. It just won't be in the walkway anymore, and we can actually use the walkway to the front door. It's been weeks. I made a pile of stuff right here that I want to bring to Tennessee. Here's one of my favorites. Look how beautiful this is. I love the pink blush around the edge of this Japanese maple. It's a butterfly. A butterfly Japanese maple. It's a bush. It's very beautiful. Of course, it's like any other Japanese maple. It takes forever to grow. I'm hoping that I can take some cuttings and I have some to sell, but it's just very beautiful and I really like it. I have some hydrangeas. This is supposed to be an apricot bush instead of an apricot tree. I have 3 of them that I ordered. So we'll see how those do. Some magnolias, a flowering quince, and a peppermint crepe myrtle. I have yet to see the flowers, but they're like supposed to be a variegated red and white flower. So those are my pile of stuff that we were supposed to take to Tennessee.